The views expressed on this show do not represent those of NTV or its staff.
Good evening, viewers. We are glad that you are watching NTV wherever you are, whether you are in Uganda or the diaspora. We are glad that you have made NTV Uganda your #1 station. It is a Saturday, and of course, this is your popular program, NTV People's Parliament. It is the only platform that gives you opportunity to speak about issues that affect your everyday life. All policies that you are not comfortable with, if you want to contribute to a policy, People's Parliament is the platform. We are still in Bududa district. I call it a landslide district, prone for landslides, and a number of people have perished in this place. A number of people have lost property in different locations, different villages, but our major problem is landslides. What are the solutions is what we are going to discuss here in Bududa district. Welcome, honorable members, to NTV People's Parliament. I am glad that I am in my home district, Bududa. I was born here, raised here, I was baked here, and just exported to Kampala for services, and I am glad to be in my home area. You are welcome to NTV People's Parliament. We are going to talk about landslide in general, and how should we protect our environment such that we do not get these occurrences in the future. But before we set the ball rolling, I would like to get the LC5 chairman, who is the MP-elect Mangia, to give us the overview. Honorable member, you are welcome.
Thank you.
This is your parliament now. Your first speaking is in this People's Parliament before you go into the national parliament. The opportunity is here.
The Right Honorable Madam Speaker, actually this to me is a dress rehearsal for the main Ruvambalimwal, as you are aware. This is a rehearsal for me.
Yes.
But I was appreciating you that being born of the soil, east-west, home is best. Yes. And you, together with us, have to better our best. Two, about the topic for discussion, the landslides. Bududa, just as you have actually mentioned it in the introductory remarks, is a disaster-prone district. The name was actually, it attracted international focus. And actually Bududa, the name is almost synonymous with landslides. But apart from landslides, we have a multiplicity of natural calamities, catastrophic natural calamities. We have hailstones, I think because of climate change, which come with the hailstorms. We have lightning. All these have claimed lives and have actually devastated crops and even devastated livestock. We have floods. We also have rolling stones in the cases of sub-counties like Bukibokoro. All these are natural calamities that have displaced people, our people, and besides that, they have led to a serious disruption of their normal lives. Two, about landslides, I would have loved to give an overview. Bududa is composed of 15 sub-counties with one town council. But almost all the 15 sub-counties are landslide prone. But those that are most hard hit are Bukalasi, Bumayoka, Bushika, Burucheke, Bushi, Nakatsi, Bukibokoro, where actually at one time a landslide actually hit at night and carried away half of the house, where the husband and where the couple was sleeping in the bedroom was left intact. But it swept away all the 6 children. By morning, these people realized part of the family had been covered under rubble of the land. You can imagine that incident. That was in Buchibokoro. So I was mentioning these most hard-hit sub-counties. Bududa is equally hit because it has numerous cracks. If you had time with your crew, we would drop there to take some of these pictures. Bushika is ready, and even Bukalasi. And most of these, actually, we have selected motorable places, including Mwarukani. We have also Bumasheti, Narwanza, Buwali, Bubita. The remaining three, which are Bukigai, Bushiribo, and Nawea, those ones are lying on this hill, which you see that is in the center of the district. That one, by actually the way the research that was carried out, there was a qualitative and thematic research that was conducted by geologists from Nairobi. Incidentally, in Uganda, Makerere University has just introduced that course of geology. So these geologists have determined that this Bukiga is the only safe, this Bukiga Hill is the only safe location from landslides in Bududa.
In the whole of Bududa
yes,
district?
Yes, it's made of granite. Granite is actually a result of those old rocks because of volcanic eruptions that occurred many million years ago. Another overview is about the population. Bududa, by the way, has a citizenry of 225,363, according to the census that was conducted in 2014. Landslides in Bududa. I'm just going to mention a few because a number of those that happened even much earlier, before we were all born, were not documented. But those that we know of recent, for instance, even after we had attained this district status, we had the catastrophic landslide of 2010, which occurred in Nameti. That one claimed over 400 lives. The number, the actual number is not yet known, because Nameti at the time was actually a center of business commercial activity. We had Kenyans who would come. We had actually neighbors from Manafa who would go to Nameti to buy horticultural crops like onions, like passion fruit.
So, Honorable Minister, Honorable Chairman, stroke or MP, Minister, this has happened time in Memorial. People only know about 2010.
Yes.
But you're saying that this has happened since before we were even born. And there's still a danger. We are still in danger. You can take a seat, I will give you another opportunity. Let's hear from the environment officer. What is the cause of these landslides?
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. And honorable members of Parliament. I'm Namono Marion, environment officer for Bududa District Local Government. First and foremost, the cause to the landslides and other disasters in the district. We think that the activities that we are doing in our day-to-day lives at home, back at home in the communities, like we are doing farming not in a proper way, that has really caused some of these disasters to happen. But also, it's seen that the nature of our area, the terrain, the steep slopes that we are having, really act as a push factor to the what? To the disasters that we are facing, especially the landslides. We also have the nature of the soils. The research has proven, and this was done by Dr. Merrick Tutu, that the nature of our soils really also act as a cause to the landslides that we are having in the district. We have the underlying factor also that the chairman was going to mention is the population. The population pressure in the district is really big. You know, we are producing every now and then, and the research says that for Bududa case, it's at 3.8 growth rate of the population. So an average family is having like 7 or 8 members of the family, and you can see that the natural resources don't really expand or do not really add, but yet the population is really adding every now and then, and focusing on that few resources, on those few resources that we're having in the community. It's in the population of Bududa, about 80% depends on the natural resources, the agriculture, which is from the land. And the way we till the land is really not proper.
They have destroyed the trees.
Exactly, there is a high demand of trees, high demand of materials from the trees, maybe like for planting, for commercial purposes, for housing, a lot. So, and we have this attitude that when we cut, we are not planting, but as a district, we are trying to sensitize and tell people that when you cut a tree, just
you
ask
should
yourself,
plant another one.
Exactly.
Okay,
That's what
thank
we are
you.
doing.
I'll give you another opportunity.
Thank you so much.
When you cut a tree, plant even 5. Because we are in danger. Yes, let me hear from the people.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. My name is Mr. Area Wambimbi, Honorable Shika. Me, I would like a bit to disagree with an environment officer to say that.
I hear there are cracks in Bushika.
Yeah, many of them want a life bomb there. And I appeal to the government. We have been here in the council discussing the same thing with 18 cabinet ministers. It was they came also 21 ministers. We agreed to reallocate those people from up, then down, and we make something called urbanization. The government, since it went up to date, we have been calling our chairman, we have been disturbing our chairperson that please make a follow-up up to date. There is no response from the government. It is as if like I've put us on cross that let them die from there. Another thing, this landslide not only occur because people are tilling the land in the way they want, or because of the population. They occur even in the forest. Maybe I will agree with her on the issue of saying that the nature of the land, which is in Bududa. But to my understanding, the government is not helping the people of Bududa. If it was helping, it would have allocated. Even the last time, it allocated some funds. It was 9 billion, chairman, of which we wanted them to buy some lands in lowlands here, because in the Bududa, not every place. Yes, not every place landslide occurs. There are some places which are safe. We want the government, as we agreed with the 21 cabinet ministers, to bring that money. We buy land here, we reallocate our people here.
Okay.
Basing on the other issue.
Okay. Thank you. We shall come to that. Please have the
Madam
floor.
Speaker, I'm Honorable Desi Rogers. I think it is like a supplement on the honorable member was just left the floor. I could expect that Bududa district, having had disasters for the past some years, if government was really caring to have declared this area disaster area and given it priority in its planning, because the purpose of the government is protect its own people. But we have seen this community who have been having a lot of calamities. But you see them reacting when things are happening. After the calamities, you don't see them around. For us, we expect that now, since Bududa, everyone in the country knows that Bududa is a disaster area, the government should give it priority, put some interventionists, fund the district, say that these people, the environmental officers, these things are just told us here, to be taken to the community, so that the community can understand that why these things happen is because of the factors which they themselves cause. But we will go now to the villages and ask people, why do we have landslides? Majority of people think that it's a natural issue. They will talk of God, they talk of everything. I've seen only maybe the chairman 5. Sometimes he goes on radio and tells people maybe rain is coming or what. But I've never seen any person here going to radio and talking about these things. Even the environment office, I stay here. I've never seen them anywhere. But maybe they can tell you that they don't have enough funding. Yes, I know the district is not well funded, but I think I request the government to at least put Bududa as one of the disaster areas, say that more interventions should be taken.
Okay, thank you. But are you not sensitizing the people about the planting of trees? Madam Namono Marion, please. The gentleman says he has never seen you in his village sensitizing the people about planting of trees.
What I can tell the August House right now today is we are really doing the work on ground.
Are you people seeing her in your communities or in other office that's sensitizing the people?
Every financial, okay, in the limited, we have really few limited resources that we are, but we can't reach every community at one time. But I know one time you'll see me out there doing the work, okay? But we've always given out trees here. Now, when you say that really we are not doing anything, I really get demoralized.
Okay.
Because even the little that we are being given by government, we are really doing something small.
Okay,
But we
thank
can't
you.
reach.
Thank you. Continue sensitizing the people about planting.
Thank you.
Please, in 2 minutes. Eh?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honourable members, by the names I'm Wanende Atom from Ubuchibokodo. We have a saying in Lugisu which says, you should not only blame an animal which had eaten your hen, but also blame your hen for going far. We should not only blame the government all the time, but should blame ourselves. First and foremost, like I do hear from my grandee, there were laws governing that maybe when you're digging, you have to first terrace your land before. We are in a hilly place, but we get somebody's digging, but not even minding of terracing his land. Now, whom do you blame? So we should not blame all the government all the time, but should blame ourselves. Maybe by the local council also should come out, maybe they put up the laws that if you have not terraced your land, maybe they penalize you, there is something you pay, than all the time blaming the government. Thank you.
Thank you. I take his point that as we demand for services from government, we should learn how to plant trees, we should learn how to till our land, such that we protect ourselves. Before government comes in, we have to come to be the first people to protect ourselves. Yes, you are watching NTV People's Parliament, sitting here in Bududa district discussing the problem of landslides. Like the chairman has told us, it's not only the landslides, but there are hailstones, there is lightning, there is also rolling of the stones. How can we solve this? How can we keep our future generation safe? Let's go for a short break, and when we come back, you'll continue hearing from the people of Bududa. Welcome back. You are still watching NTV People's Parliament, sitting here in Bududa district, a land of problems, a landslide district. Stone rolling and everything is in Bududa. But how can we solve this problem? Let's hear more from the people of Bududa.
Members of Parliament in this August House. Uganda world over is the best policy formulator, but the poorest policy implementer. How? The government of Uganda came up with a policy saying that when you cut one tree, you plant 5. Madam Honorable of Environment, you said that you have been monitoring around, seeing or monitoring government's programs. How many times has the community implemented that, or else the government put on the laws to guide the implementation of such a policy in our constituency or in Bududa as a district?
But it's good that you have been informed that one tree you cut, another 5 you plant. Are you doing the same in your home area?
Particularly myself, I'm doing it, but the majority are not doing it because they're not informed. Now the problem is that we are requesting the policy implementers to come to the ground to sensitize people,
okay,
to know that cutting one tree, you should plant 5. 2, they should also come to know that what is killing Bududa as a district is the pregnant mother whom everyone is suckling. That is nothing other than corruption. Go to Mount Elgon now, up there. You'll find how many trees they have cut and what is the cause. People are bribing, the officials are bribing those forest rangers to go and cut trees, which is resulting into landslides. Again, people are staying in waterlogged areas, which is causing people to, the structures to fall. Very soon, when you go to Luhonje across there, you will find that there's a structure which have really constructed in a waterlogged area. What's going to happen after now? We are now looking at the landslides in Bududa. Now, those also are constructing houses in water-logged areas. How are we going to define them?
So we are partly to blame what you're saying. We are partly to blame as the people of Bududa.
Yes. Yes. Then another thing which we should understand is that ourselves, we should come into sense. It's true. The government is helping us to see that they put up that policy. But it can also come to learn that the cutting of trees is bad. Can you come to learn that constructing houses in water-logged areas is bad?
Okay. Thank you. Point made, Honorable Member. Please.
I was so disappointed when I went to Sironko district. I got UNDP when it's constructing a house for climate mitigation. Sironko and Bulambuli, they had already finished it. There is a program of sensitization going there. And yet Bududa district, which is so prone to soil erosion and landslides, I don't see anything.
So you are calling upon UNDP to come to Bududa?
Exactly, because there's no sensitization, people don't know what to do. Environment officer talked about giving out trees to plant. It does not give sense if you give someone a tree and you then tell the person that if you plant this tree, it's going to give the soil cover, the roots will bind the soil together, and the soil structure will be maintained. You will give someone a tree, someone will get a tree and plant it at a low land area. Then leaves the land which is up. At the same time, soil erosion and landslide will still be occurring. So I think it's all about sensitization and telling people what to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member, please.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. It has been clear that there is poor farming methods by our farmers. Honorable members, you find that the attitude of our people is so negative. But as the Department of Production in the district or Ministry of Agriculture, we are not going to stop sensitizing people so that they can do proper farming methods. Another issue which is there is the level of education. We have been talking about education in the district here. The level of education is very low. So if our people are educated, these people, most of them will get employment somewhere else, and the pressure will be low at our soil. So this one, I'm emphasizing that education should be encouraged so much. Then we should do what we call renewal of the natural resources, and which we have already started on what we call sustainable land management. Before this parliament ends, I would like honorable members to go to one of the sub-counties called Naboya sub-county and see what the production department together with natural resources are doing to see that the attitude of our people are changed. Then another issue is other alternative of income generating activities. Most of our people now think it is only the soil, it is only the forest which is the source of their income. Let us think of other alternatives, whereby these other alternatives should come out of us as a community. We have borders, we have welding, we have other things which we can do. Then, as the department, we are not going to stop. I want to end here by saying we are not going to stop. We shall continue to sensitize our people so that their attitude should change.
Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member, please.
Honorable Speaker, the Parliament.
This is the MP-elect Lutsehe.
I'm Watenga Godfrey Nabutanyi, MP-elect Lutsehe constituency.
Thank you.
Like I've heard, most of the honorables here are talking about high population. Indeed, high population pressure is one of the pressing factors to this disaster landslide. The other time when I was in Chankwazi, I had to share with the President of the Republic of Uganda. We had a joke with him, said that he was asking me about what I was doing. I told him that I'm a farmer. Then he had to post a joke and said that, oh, you are the people encroaching on my forests. So, in fact, the population pressure, like they have said, is one of the factors, and I should say it's the utmost one, causing all this calamity.
We are producing too much.
Yeah. So maybe, like you have said, that we should look at the solutions. So maybe we should employ methods like family planning methods, whereby we should reduce on the rate of the fertility rate should be cut down.
People are saying we shall not. Okay, go ahead.
Finally, there was a time they wanted to settle our people in Bulamburi. But there was a fear of the Karamajongs. Those people are very hostile. Honorable members are here, but that time we refused not to so. So we had to resort and apply to the government to find a way of resettling our people within what? The district. There was the time the landslide occurred in Neboshe. And they transferred the people from there, and they found a comfortable area, that is Wuraba. And up to now, these people have lived there for a longer time. No landslide have occurred in Wuraba. So it is my view to say that maybe if the government can maybe found or allocate us in some forest areas, no, we shall not go deep into the forest. And we have applied this more times, not so, honorable members. We have
so you want to still encroach on the forest?
At least they give us some, they allocate us part of it so that we can settle our people.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Please have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Bududa is one of the disadvantaged districts in Uganda. And therefore, it is regarded to be one of the landslide-prone areas where everybody who visits Bududa remains worried, even when it is a dry season like this one, because of the landslides. My area of concern, actually, I wanted to begin from education background and a population background. Madam Speaker, I was sharing with Minister of Environment presently when we were looking at the redemarcation of the national park. I looked at the growth rate of population in Bududa district at a fertility rate of 3.8% per annum. And when I calculated, Bududa has a population currently of over 200,000. So I was imagining each person in Bududa is now going to produce in the next 5 years, where I and the honorable members are going to serve as a term. And at the end of my computing, I realized we are producing around 30,000 persons, human beings, if death has not taken.
That will put pressure on the land still.
Exactly. So I was imagining
like me, I'm planning to have 10 children.
I am coming to that one. I was imagining that if we produce 30,000, that means every 5 years we are producing one full sub-county plus. And yet, even in the smaller sub-counties we are having, we cannot even try to demarcate more than one parish per sub-county.
Yes, you have had the people of Bududa. You have had the problems that are facing. And what should we do to ensure that we don't get more landslide in the future? Let's go for a short break. And when we come back, we are going to hear the solution is from the people themselves who are in Bududa. Yes, welcome back from the break. You are still watching NTV People's Parliament sitting in Bududa district, discussing the problems of landslides. What are the causes of landslides? You have heard from the people. They have mentioned the population growth, the activities, they have overtilled the land. So what can we do as a district? As government comes in, what can we do to ensure that we do not get these occurrences in the future? Honorable members, you have the solutions yourselves.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. As we look for solutions on this topic, It defeats my understanding because as one member here deliberated, he said that there are so many related catastrophes, disasters, and they call them, I think, natural. Now, if it is God created, I fail to understand how we can look for a solution other than God himself. Because if not the soil structure and whatever, even a geologist, I think, can explain this. I think landslides come as a matter of how soils are formed up. And that is what is in my mind.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, I'm Honorable Masika James PWD. I want to inform the President Speaker that you can make a mitigation, like the climatic change. When you plant a tree, you will make sure that the housing green gases will consume the air which the trees are producing. That one would have made a solution.
So as God helps you, you should also help yourself.
Okay.
Okay, wind up.
I'm winding up. I come from Nagoya sub-county, and I think it is the landslide-free sub-county, as the chairman said here in the previous talk. What we should talk about, Madam Speaker, I would think it will be the what? The preventive measures on the effects of the what? Of the landslide. Because as I said, as we also do some part to prevent it, we should also think of how do we, in fact, prevent the effects caused by landslides. This is resettlement of our people. I think it is one of the main issues which we should handle. How should we resettle our people? And in fact, as one
such
member
that we
said,
can decongest the hills.
yes, we decongest them. And as one member said, I think they should purchase land to build estates, storage estates, to the land-stricken places. I think historically, they say these landslides, they just open very, very few new areas. But historical, they just repeat the nearest area where they normally what? Normally happen. Okay. So it would be good if they build estates, they purchase land, the government come in to help to settle people within, other than take them somewhere.
Okay,
like
thank
those
you.
suffering in Kabarole.
Thank you, Honorable. I have information that the people who were taken to Chiriandongo have already come back.
Walakle Joseph from Nalwanza. Whereas we have been blaming the government that is doing little, my observation is whatever the government does, if it's not done timely, then it's useless. For example, if they're giving us, if we're promoting afforestation should be done when the climate is conducive. For example, if you give us seedlings during the month of November, those are wasted. So we should program out of the few resources we get, make them used timely. Secondly, if the extension staff can see it's only one officer around, we should plead for more officers to be recruited so that the work can be done. And your work must be in timetable form. For example, we know that this April now, people are starting to plan. And it comes to November, December, it's a dry season. So make sure that your program is at least reached to every person so that can program. You cannot tell somebody to come and plant trees when there's no planted beans.
Okay.
So everything must be programmed. Thank you very much.
I don't hear somebody talking about electricity such that we can stop using firewood. No? Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I'm Honorable Kamli Geoffrey. There is one rhetorical question that I want to put informatively. Sometimes we blame the government, but let us now look at this notion. Who is the government? We are the government. First of all, let us blame ourselves. They have tried to relocate you from Namezi to Kiriandongo. But again, we've now found out that our people who went there have come back. They have gone back to Namezi. So before we blame the government, honorable members, let us first of all blame ourselves because we're the government. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, 1 minute, honorable member.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am Kutos Kasim.
Some information for the speaker.
Please.
Let me
use this one.
The blame for the government, which was trying actually to refute. The people who are returning from Kiriandongo are leading a deplorable life in Kiriandongo. And the government that offered actually to construct them houses, there are about 700 households. But up to now, the government has only attempted to construct 100 units. And the 100 units I'm talking about are still under construction. No water, the life there they are leading is severe, precarious, and life-threatening. So that's why they had to come back. And where they are even settling, there are so many cracks, and they are leading a desperate life and spoiling for a fight, Madam Speaker. So government, particularly the relevant line ministries of OPM, and the ministry called Disaster Preparedness and Refugees, they are doing us a disservice. They have actually given,
So the houses in Triandongo are not complete?
Not complete. And we are talking of 700 households. But the others are in the 600, almost over 600, are living in tents which are in tatters. You can imagine tents that were actually offered to them way back in 2010. It was, I think, in TV.
Yes.
It was in print and electronic media. We saw that the tents these people are living in are in tatters. A few who are living in their 100 houses, even these houses are not yet fit for habitation. Okay. So while they are coming back, we have to lay squarely the blame on the government.
Okay.
The government has failed Bududa.
Thank you.
Yes.
Which information? You are the LC5 elect chairman. You want to add the information to your...
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The government comes out with a policy very clearly, like resettlement of people. They even give all the guidance and outline of how they are going to resettle people. But at the end of the day, no single implementation within the guideline is fulfilled. And that is part of the biggest problem as to why people are even defying from the issue of saying we are going to settle you anywhere apart from Bududa. So unless the government, like if it is stated and it said the policy is about to settle people in Bududa and urbanization, let it be like that and let the government come in full support to support such a program. Okay. I'm sure that intervention will bring a lot of results to this district.
Thank you. Thank you, LC5 Chairman-elect.
Okay,
please, 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. As we talk right now, rain is about to begin. But what strategies do we have? Or we are only waiting for rain to begin, there are problems, then we come into. So that is what? Number one. Two, Madam Speaker, all these problems about landslides come about because of pressure on land. But we have not put in place strategies of reducing pressure on land. We shall only continue talking, lamenting, but there are no what? Strategies. Three, Madam Speaker, responsibility sharing. Yes, we are blaming central government, but what about district local government? What role are we, yes, to prevent landslides?
Okay.
What about sub-county government, that is lower local government? What strategies do we have? What about community? What strategies do we have? What about the people? What strategies do we have to prevent landslides? Unless we...
You are breaking the rules of parliament, Honorable Member.
I'm sorry,
Somebody
Madam
wants
Speaker.
to give information, please.
Fine. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I'm impressed with his submission. But I would like to correct the impression he's trying to create here, that the district local government is doing nothing. We have actually engaged in massive planting of trees, but it's not about, Madam Speaker, it's not about planting trees. It is about growing trees. We should actually move from planting to growing.
Okay.
Because in the past we have had trees planted along these roads, but because they have not been given care, attention, they have all vanished. Two, you made mention of electricity. If rural electrification would be implemented to the letter, the question of this high fertility rate would be checked. Because an idle mind is the devil's workshop. You know that those places which are on the high hilltops, the mountainous terrain, people retire early to bed. And because they are idle and disorderly, there is no power to watch TV or rather do welding or actually engage in...
They engage in increasing the population.
So electricity will solve this population pressure problem.
Okay.
Bududa is known for being very good farmers. We have so many cows all over, including in the mountains. And we are talking about reducing cutting trees. So I would think that we would find a way of lobbying through NGOs so that we can have government coming in and we support people and they have biogas. And biogas is sustainable because the dung is there full time and they can have power for lighting, for cooking and for everything. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The solution is...
Only one solution.
I have at least two, which are really very vital. One, I'm reminding the district council of Bududa. Let's renew the collaborative management project with the UA. Our people in Shiwandu and Bududa, they are doing very well. There is no landslides even in those areas. So this project is still on. It is good that the chairman, the incoming chairman, we started with you this project. Let's renew and we cover the whole Bududa with collaborative management project. It is there. Two, as the honorable member said, let's educate our sons and daughters.
Speak to the microphone, honorable member.
Yes. Let's educate you boys and girls. We want to import you to Western and Northern so that we reduce pressure on land. If you are well educated, you will get a good job and you will buy land in North, in the West. Then you will marry good husbands there. Then so that we can... That's part of the solution. Yes.
Okay.
Then lastly, as a district, let's lobby the partners in environment. Madam Environment officer. Write proposals so that partners can come to Bududa so that we put hands together, then we solve the issue of Of landslides and other disasters. Thank you very much,
please.
Madam Speaker.
Yeah, Madam Speaker, I'm Geoffrey Natubu. I have a concern. When landslide occurred in Bumarukani parish.
You have 1 minute, honorable member, to give a solution.
Office of the Prime Minister came and closed the schools, and it did not relocate the population. And therefore, the peoples, including the population, the parents in those localities, are still there, and therefore, they have no school. The peoples are going to. I am proposing, therefore, Madam Speaker, that the alternative school be constructed in Umarukani, a parish where the children's, where the people's, where the school was closed to cater for education for the peoples in those localities. Okay. And that could be a solution to the challenge that was caused by a landslide in Umarukani parish.
Okay, thank you.
I beg to move, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Can you wind up in 1.5 minutes?
Bududa ought to be rebranded. And rebranding starts with you, especially now that you have brought the People's Parliament to Bududa. Bududa should not be actually given negative publicity about being disaster prone. Bududa can be a preferred destination for tourism and investment because we are greatly gifted by nature. By the way, Bududa, given its mountainous terrain and the beautiful scenery, and the delicacies of Malewa, which is lacking elsewhere. And given the pygmy elephant, some of you have not seen the pygmy elephants, by the way. They have relocated to the Kenyan side, but we have plenty of them in the Mount Elgon National Park. We also have Bogoya, the sweetest in the world. It has been proven beyond reasonable doubt that the sweetest Bogoya in the world emanates from Bududa.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Thank you, time up.
So
yes, thank you, honorable members, for being part of this parliament. Because of time constraints, we cannot continue. I think you have heard the voices of the people of Bududa. They are partly to blame for the landslides, but they're asking government to resettle the people and also to help sensitizing the people to plant more trees and also to decrease on the population. As usual, I aspire to inspire you before I expire with the powers conferred upon me as the Speaker of People's Parliament. I adjourn this House until next Saturday.
The views expressed on this show do not represent those of NTV or its staff.